Welcome back to Obsessive Magic. Today I'm going to show off my Heliod commander deck. Everybody knows who Heliod is. This is him. He's got a nice effect, invincible. Well, not invincible, but indestructible. Gets a +1/+1 counter whenever you gain a life. You can put it on any creature or enchantment you control, and you can give a creature lifelink with it. So that's the mono plains commander with the commander deck I run. It has 14 basic lands in it. These are some of the lands. Some nice looking foils, some full arts, some stuff like that. Let me get it into focus. That's the Godzilla land series, if y'all are wondering. That's it. Just 14 basics. Alright, let's start getting to some of the good stuff. Let's start getting to some of these non-basic lands. I've been thinking about removing this. Draw it too early. Get too stuck. It doesn't really do me any good anymore. I've upgraded to a lot of better 2 mana. And with Commander Legends coming out, I think I got a good idea of what to replace it with. Flagstones or Trakir. Just put into your graveyard from play. You can search the library for a Plains card. Place it into play in case anybody's got land destruction. Might as well. Thespian Stage. Goes with Dark Depths. Make a 20/20 instantly. Pretty nice. Urza's Tower. Urza's Mine. And there it is. Urza's Power Plant. For that combo. Vesuva. Copy a land. Dark Depths to create that 20/20 I was talking about with Thespian Stage. Nico Shrine to Nyx. I do run a mono colored deck, so it makes sense to boost mana that way, especially since it's mono white and everyone knows how ramping is with plains. And Mirror of the Sky Ruin. At the beginning of the upkeep, if you control 7 or more planes, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Tap and add planes to your mana pool. Or, Mistveil Plains. It enters the battlefield tapped. I can tap it with the planes and put target creature card from a graveyard on the bottom of your library. Now, that's good for being able to tutor up, but I actually do not have my Enlightened Tutor in here because I don't have my Enlightened Tutor anymore. Alright, Castle of Ardenvale. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control the planes. Create a 1/1 white human creature token for 2 and 2. Idyllic Grange. It comes in, you put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control if you have 3 more other planes. It does not enter the battlefield tapped. Hall of Heliod's Generosity. I can place an enchantment card from my graveyard on top of my library. That is important in case Heliod does get stacked up with too much, commander cost. Ancient Tomb. Double mana. Seagate Wreckage. Inventor's Fair. It allows me to search out for an artifact. Labyrinth of Scophis. In case I get into a real sticky situation, I can remove the attacking creature. Or blocking creature. Someone's trying to block me out, and I'm trying to hit the game win. Cascading Cataracts. Which, this deck's game win is actually, it can be done on turn 3. If you draw the right cards, get them in the right combination. You'll see what that is as we keep going through it. Alright, instance, we got Righteousness. Target blocking creature gets +7/+7 to the end of the turn for 1 cost. Fight as 1. Target human you control gains +1/+1 and indestructible. Target non-human creature gets +1/+1 and indestructible. And you can use both of those for a 1 cost. Abiance. And target player cannot play instants, sorceries, interrupts, or abilities require an activation cost. Dawn Charm. Prevent all damage that will be dealt during this turn. Regenerate target creature or counter target spell that targets you. Choose one of those. Disenchant. Destroys target artifact. Hold the line. Blocking creatures get +7/+7. And this is creatures, not creature. So 2 extra costs, but in case I got 1/1 creature, it works for a nice counter. Alright, sorceries. We start off with a Wrath of God, an Idyllic Tutor, a Revoke Existence, and a Final Glory. Planeswalker, I chose a Johnny Goldmane. I do run 1 Planeswalker. This is like version 4 of the deck, or something like that. It still has a lot more work to be done to it, but I started off at 3 Planeswalkers in there. Did not like running 3 Planeswalkers. Never worked out. Never got to use any of them. They died instantly when I put them out. But, you know, at least this one I can -1/-1, give my creatures vigilance until the end of the turn. Or if Heliod's already out, I can plus up, gain life, gain a counter, etc., etc., etc. It works well. It's a well-working card. If I can leave it out for 2 turns and get the Avatar, which never happens, but that's a game win too. Alright, enchantments. We got the Angelic Gift. Gives a creature flying, draw a card. Authority to consoles. Keeps my opponents under control. Gains me life. Gains me counters. Like that life gain in this deck. Pacifism. Sigara's Aid. And this is because I have a lot of artifacts and equipments. You'll see those here in a little bit. Worship, just in case I get in some real sticky trouble. Legion's Landing. Get my 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. And then I can, transform it to that land. It transforms to Adonto the First Fort. I can tap, add mana to my pool, or for 3 I can create another white vampire creature token with lifelink. And like I said, life gain helps out a lot, so I do like the life gain in this deck. Call to Serve, +1/+2, flying. Dreadful Apathy, target creature can't attack or block. Easy to work with. Just don't hit a commander with it, because they'll just exile it out. If they have any planes, they'll exile it out. Anyways. Alright. On to some of the good stuff. Here we go with the artifacts. Got the Altar of Pantheon. Increases my devotion for my colors. Helps out with Heliod, getting him to a creature. He's not a creature unless my devotion is 5. And I gain a life every time I tap it while Heliod is on the field, and gaining 1 life with Heliod is lovely. Soul Ring, everyone uses Soul Ring in Commander. We all know about that. Well of Lost Dreams. It allows me to draw cards. Card draw in Planes is very not so great, so awesome to have that. Sword of Snoo and Steel gains me protection from black and red whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player. Destroy 1 target planeswalker and 1 target artifact. Shadow Spear. Permanents your control lose hexproof and indestructible until the end of turn for the cost of 1. Love it just for that. And I get a trample and lifelink. Lifelink obviously helps out. Trample does too whenever I start building up a lot of counters. And then get to roll in with some damage. Sword of Truth and Justice. Protection from white and blue. Whenever he does combat damage to a creature you control, I get to proliferate. Sword of Feast and Famine. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Has protection from black and green. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player. Player discards a card and you untap all lands you control. Gives me a little bit of work to work with. Mana Crypt, double mana, 0 cost. Funny story, first game I ever played with my Mana Crypt in my deck, whole game, not one time did I hit heads. I hit tails every single flip that game, and I had it out since the first turn. That's sad. The Ozolith to keep my +1/+1 counters through death. Nyx Lotus, because again I am a 1-color commander deck and try to ramp on the mana as fast as possible. Monzai to allow me to be able to draw some extra cards. Sword of Body and Mind. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Has protection from green and blue. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield, and that player puts the top 10 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard. This would be great for a mill deck, but I use it as just kind of a shenanigan, and it gives me protection from green and blue. White creature spells you cost 1 less to cast. Oh, well, I have all white creature spells almost. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create a 1/1 white warrior creature token with vigilance. Obviously helps out. Sword of War and Peace. Equipped creature gets +2/+2. Protection from red and white. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of War and Peace deals damage to that player equal to the number of cards in his or her hand, and you gain 1 life for each card in your hand. Again, gaining 1 life for each card in my hand. That's nice. Gain life, Heliod, gain tokens, gain power. Sword of Fire and Ice, protection from red and blue. Whenever he deals combat damage, whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, Sword of Fire and Ice deals 2 damage to target creature or a player, and I get to draw a card. Sword of Light and Shadow, got a lot of swords. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has protection from white and black. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you gain 3 life. You may return up to 1 target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Alright. Now, how does all this fit in together? All those cards. How do they all fit in for a commander deck? That's how they work with these creatures. Now, Heliod and Thune out at the same time has never happened. But one day it might. One day it might. And that would be nice. Solomon Recruit. Maybe I should talk about these cards a little bit more. Solomon Recruit. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent you control left the battlefield this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on Solomon Recruit. He has double strike. Double strike is really the reason he's in this deck. Sarah's Guardian, Flying Vigilance, and other creatures you control have Vigilance. Gaining all my creatures Vigilance is a nice combo. Containment Priest, look at the artwork on that Containment Priest. That is a foil, full art, borderless, but nice Containment Priest. 8.5 Tails. Target permanent you control gains protection from white until the end of the turn, and then I can make any spell or permanent white. Sunscorched Regent. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Sunscorched Regent, and I gain 1 life. You hear that, right? I gain 1 life, and he gets a +1/+1. So really, essentially, every time an opponent casts a spell, I could be gaining 2 +1/+1 counters, or ramping something else up. Soulmender, every turn it will give me a +1/+1 counter, as well as 1 life for 1 drop with Heliod. Walking Ballista, that's that 3-turn ending combo. All I gotta do is pull the right cards, the right combo. Game over on turn 3. Sarah's Ascendant, lifelink. As long as you have 30 more life, she comes out with +5/+5, has flying. As commander, you start off with 40 life, so she automatically comes out with 6/6 and lifelink. Nice card to have out on the beginning if I end up drawing it. Arendelle Tactician, flying. Tap up to 2 target creatures for its instant ability. It's one of the adventure cards, and that tap up to 2 target creatures is the reason it's in there. It counts as a double. It's an instant in case I need to use it. Griff's Boon, enchant creature, gets +1/+0 and has flying. And then I can return it from my graveyard. Heliod the Broken Blade. At first, I had both parts of the Brasilia, the Voice of Nightmares, but I ended up taking Bruna out. She's got flying, first strike, and lifelink. She's the better of the two, definitely. I left her in there. She's only a 4-drop. Impassioned Orator. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life, obviously. Now, there are some other cards I could put in here, like a Johnny's Proud Mate. I don't have a Johnny's Proud Mate in here. I thought about putting that in here. Giver of Runes. Another target creature you control gains protection from colorless or from the color of your choice until the end of the turn. Obviously, this deck, if you haven't noticed, has a lot of protection in it. That way I can be protected. Because I hate everyone always picks on me. Because I ramp up. All of a sudden, you got a 30-30 from a mono white deck out there. You're going to kill it real quick. And protection is always nice as a bonus to have that out there. Brimmus, King of Oreskos. Whenever you attack, so put a 1/1 white cat creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield, attacking. Whenever Brimmus blocks the creature, put a 1/1 white cat soldier creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield, blocking that creature. So, definitely something to, just helps out. It's only a 3-drop. For another 3-drop with flying, vigilance, and lifelink, the Arrow Responder. Selfless Spirit. It's come in handy so many times. Sack it. All my creatures get indestructible. Fairy Godmother. Target creature gets +2/+1 and flying until the end of the turn. Sneak some damage in there real quick. Banisher Priest. Enhances the battlefield. Exile target creature an opponent controls until he leaves the battlefield. Perfect. Grand Abolisher. During your turn, opponents can't cast spells or activate abilities of artifacts, creatures, or enchantments. What is that noise? I hear a noise coming from somewhere. Alright, Scuttlemutt. Let's see. Scuttlemutt. Add 1 mana of any color. Target creature becomes the color or colors of your choice until the end of the turn. Obviously, that helps out with protection and into mana color. Victory's Envoy. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Not a card that will probably end up staying in there for too much longer, but it's in there for right now. I just don't like the half-off cost on it. Daxos. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield or dies, I gain 1 life. So that's obviously counters with goes with Heliod. Triskelions, another instant win, just like Walking Ballista is. It's just a 6-drop instead of a 4-drop. Solomon Simulacrum. Foil Floor helps me get a land out and draw a card. Felidar Sovereign for an instant win ability. Vigilance lifelink at the beginning of your upkeep. If you have 40 more life, you win the game. Well, that's always nice, especially since how I gain a lot of life in this deck. Resplendent Angel. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain 5 or more life this turn, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. Until the end of the turn, Resplendent Angel gets +2/2 and lifelink. Now, that effect is obviously way too high to be using. I use it for a 3-drop. And I can gain 5 or more life very easily in a turn. Pure Steel Paladin. Whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. Plenty of equipment as you saw earlier. The equipment you control have equipped 0 as long as you control 3 or more artifacts. Plenty of artifacts that control 3. Plenty of equipment to use. Angel of Vitality. Whenever you gain a life, now gain +1 instead. Obviously that's good. Whenever Angel of Vitality gets +2/2 as long as you have 25 or more life. Obviously I'll have 25 or more life, or I would probably be losing the game. Silver Flame Squire. Target creature gets +2/2 until the end of the turn. Untap it. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So let's say I need a Walking Ballista, for instance. Let's say somehow I got countered. I need to add some pluses to it. do something with it. I don't know. I know this deck's got some work and some room to be worked on, but it works out. I can get wins with it. That's what counts, I guess, right? It's fun to play with. I guess that's what really counts. Mother of Runes for the last card. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until the end of the turn. Plenty of protection in this deck. That's it. That's the Heliod deck. Any ideas? Anything? Like, comment. Let me know down below. Talk to me. Let me know what you're thinking. Does the deck look terrible? Does the deck look like you beat it in a couple seconds? I guarantee you 1v1 my deck, you're going to have some real serious problems. Unless you're a goblin deck. But, you know, we'll go at it. We'll see. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments.